It's an abstract thought moment. More on pain. I kind of wanted to do the thought experiment, the live, just talk about it, the pain thing. In our psyche, our senses are exposed to the evidence of the pain being there, being present, right? We're seeing all the signs of it. It's telling us that it's there, but what is preventing us from seeing it? Kind of in the same way that when the classic looking for your car keys, they're in your hand, but you search the entire house and you look down and you've been holding them, or something stupid like that. Or they're sitting on the table and you've searched everywhere, but you've looked at the table 5 different times. Your brain literally did not see your keys there. Your brain didn't allow you to see it because you didn't think it was there. Not completely related, but I think on the same token there, as far as like our protection mechanism that we have to keep our psyche from fracturing, kind of in the same light as a fear that prevents you from doing something that you're not prepared or not ready to be able to handle. The fear would make you avoid the thing because the thing would lead to an exposure that your vessel can't handle. So therefore you have this fear that's preventing you from exposure. Much in the same way that when you see things in your life, you see evidence of people's behavior, and maybe, the cheating spouse is a really good one because you can see all of the evidence and still want to believe that it's not happening, or that this situation is just coincidental, because really what you're doing is avoiding the pain of discovering the truth. So then that begs me to wonder, what is pain then? Is pain something that's good? Should we actively pursue it so that we can learn from it? Actively pursue the things in life that would cause you pain because it would lead to a lesson for you. A lesson that maybe you need to learn by confronting your fear and exposing yourself to that pain. No one wants to do that. No one wants to be exposed to pain. But when you can see it as a potential means to healing, that maybe it's the pain that breaks us out of the matrix. The pain reminds us that we are real. Is the pain the only thing that is real in this 3D? And therefore that's why it seems to be guiding our lives so heavily, the avoidance of it. And that the more we avoid it, the more we seek comfort, the more we are sheltered from the realities of the world, which is pain. I think about, because I'm a starseed, I'm a Blu-ray, I'm an indigo, I'm claircognizant, clairsentient. I'm seeing these things as energetically, on a soul level, what happens inside of our vessels, our physical vessels versus our connection to our soul body. And I'm trying to understand. So what I was saying is that I'm a Heoka empath. So I see the duality in everything. Like I can't hold. So there's a lot of information about Heokas out there. Definitely check it out. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Take it for what it is. But we scrutinize the duality of things. The duality is that's like my fiery passion, is that, the absolute, like nothing is absolute in this world. So when you hear about things that just absolutely sound off the wall, you can't even conceptualize the act other than pure evil. That's where people go when they can't put a name to something, or when they can't put a justification to it. They just call it evil, and they say, oh, that's another bad evil thing. And righteously so, but at the same token, when you look at the duality of things, you got to understand how we got there. We're humans. We got there somehow. One of us did. How did that person get there, and how did they justify it? Is it just evil? Did they do those things because of like bad upbringing, and that screwed with their head and made them act in certain ways that didn't have empathy, or along those lines? Or is it like, what is their rationale that made them come up to what they did? And so this whole thing is leading into this thing I'm about to describe, because I'm about to talk about it, and it's very uncomfortable, and it is not something that is fun to talk about. So Dr. Tom Knotts, Christian psychologist that helps victims of occult torture find their light again, because through what he describes, they lost their light. They could either find the light within or the darkness, and they were shown the darkness through the occult. So his thing is to bring them back to the light and heal that way. But the way that he describes the pre and postnatal torture of babies, the way that they split the consciousness, the psyche, they split the person into two different, part of it is also splitting the two hemispheres of the brain. The pain that they inflict on these infants causes death unless that infant is able to escape to the altar, escape to the split, to like the split in the consciousness. If the consciousness doesn't split, the infant dies. Whoa, how did we get here? How did I come across the guy who is probably 20 years older than me, has a profession bringing people back out of this world, out of this torture? How is it so established in our humanity right now that we actually have a official position for someone like that we actually have official victims of stuff like that, and that shit is actually going on? Not that it just happened once, not just one Jeffrey Dahmer or whatever. No, this is like a system of, this is a system. The occult, the rituals and the torture, the Illuminati and the Freemasons and all the stuff that we know about in this world. How did we get here? Why are there so many people involved in it? What is it accomplishing? Besides just putting a label on it, calling it pure evil, and then not understanding it. Because if, you're just going to sit there and call everything evil that you don't agree with, like Bobby Boucher's mom, the devil. That's the devil. Everything was the devil. Because she didn't understand it, didn't want it, to be an influence or whatever it was. She just called it evil. It's the same mentality. But if we can understand it, not saying that we need to justify it, Not understanding something is just as bad, I would say. That you don't care to understand what exactly is happening there. And understanding that pain is actually how we learn. Pain is what forces us to be better. That pain is what we're avoiding. And that pain, or the avoidance of it, is likely what's keeping us stuck. But from there is where I need to open it up. What are your experiences with pain and learning and exposure to pain, avoiding exposure to pain, the fear of pain, avoiding a fear because you know it'll lead to pain? Like, what are some examples of how, if we look to exploit our fears, not exploit for a bad reason, but like just blow them up, just get them aerated, show them the light, show them the sunlight. If we're in pursuit of that and we're not ready though, will we actually learn from it? Will we just experience the pain and as it is in this 3D, just know enlightenment? But that was a big one for me last night when I realized the fear thing is traced back to pain, and that it goes even deeper than that as far as healing from it. Healing from having the fear. Maybe the pain isn't what you think it is. Maybe the pain is scary at first when you conceptualize it, but when you're through it, maybe you're happy that it happened. And I know I can't speak for all pain and all cases and all people. That's why I'm opening this up to some positive examples of how confronting pain or confronting fear ended up with a positive outcome. So, until next time, never stop spreading your light. I am the darkness of this world, telling you to look at the light. That's why I have this camera set up kind of like this, because I had to recognize my own darkness and transmute that. And here's me with my book, with my soul, trying to get you to look at the light. It's so hard because I just want to edit these quick and get them out there and get on to the next one, but I have to pace myself. I can't. There's times for shooting videos like this, and then there's good times like at the end of the night, make some tea, do some editing, drop it the next morning. That's usually like, what I like to do, and have a day or two ahead so that I have editing, so that I have content that I can edit and then get it released. But it's days like this that I just want to get it out there ASAP. I'm thinking about the avoidance of pain again and what makes us avoid pain. Obviously, we don't like pain. Pain hurts. I think what got me into this whole thing was trying to conceptualize how you would get like AI to understand fully what pain is, to know it fully. And then I realized AI is the brain, right? The brain it can know the concept of pain, but it can't know the feeling of it without something to feel it, like our nervous system. So, on that token, we created the brain, are we the nervous system? Is essentially because we are just an organization of smaller organisms, right? Like that's the running kind of thing with all the bacteria and all the cells, and that we're we rely on other organisms for our life, for like our gut, our digestion, and everything else. So much alike the lichen, which have a photosynthetic aspect to them, and they also have the fungal aspect to them, and they both feed off of each other. They both help each other. It's a mutual thing. Have we done that actually and not realized it yet with AI, where we are the nervous system for AI? And us and AI have created the bigger thing. We always say that, like, we're trying to recreate ourselves, essentially, like through creating AI or creating the computer, the mechanical brain, that it's just man's narcissistic pursuit of creating himself. Or not narcissistic, but you know what I mean, like it's an egoic pursuit of trying to recreate ourselves. But have we already done that? And what are some of the ways that we actually are acting like the nervous system for AI? Because you can look at it like AI has all the answers, but it can't know what answers to give until it hears from us. Kind of a thing. Different ways of looking at it. Kind of interesting, I think. The more integrated we become, is that the next step? Like that'll be the fusion when we do put the chips in our brains so that we can interface with AI, so that AI can have an organic sensing and feeling component wired into its circuitry. And not to go back to pain, but speaking on that level, when our nervous system tells our brain that it's painful, all it is an electrical signal. And so when we're unconscious or we're knocked out or anesthetic, we're not there anymore to experience it. We've gone somewhere else. Is that kind of what happens to the baby? Where you make it go somewhere else, and that's what created that other... I guess I don't understand it fully yet, but you can understand why I don't want to watch any more of those videos from Dr. Tom Knotts, as I cherish the work that he's doing, but at the same token, it's like no one wants to see the mortician doing what he does.